AskReddit by Little Honeyba 2104. What celebrity is over-sexualized? Do you think this helps or hurts them? I remember when as soon as Emma Watson turned 18, the paparazzi went crazy, trying to get pictures up her dress and everything. Don't forget when a certain British tabloid newspaper published a full-page countdown to Emma Watson's 16th birthday to celebrate the day she would finally become legal. Brooke Shields. Probably the worst exploitation of a celebrity's sexuality I've seen in my lifetime. The fact that she posed naked in Playboy as a literal child, I think she was 10, truly baffles my mind. It is absolutely disgusting and I don't know how anyone was okay with that. Eliza Dushku. The poor woman was molested as a child while filming True Lies and sexually harassed while on the set of Bull. At least in the latter case she was able to settle for $8 million. I remember a scene in Buffy, where her character body swapped with Buffy, and she acted Sarah Michelle Gellar off the screen. She nailed SMG's mannerisms, and during the scene where they switch back, her transition from playing Buffy to playing Faith was incredible. She should have been a huge star. Zac Efron. In his show Down to Earth there's a car ride scene where Zac cries when he's talking about girls who had obsessed with him and it caused a lot of trauma for him. Used to not stand the dude but seeing the real him really showcased how good of a guy he is. Efron is also an example of how body image hurts men as well. I think in that same show he starts crying when he eats some bread for the first time in years. The Green M&M. I will have to die knowing that a popular political pundit discussed how disappointed he was that the green M&M was less fuckable. People listen to him and make decisions that impact all our lives. Your future is partially dictated by a man who was upset that his dick wasn't getting hard enough by the cartoon candy. Let's all sit for a moment and think about that. Megan Fox. I'll never forget that time she was on Jimmy Kimmel, talking about being objectified at 15 while filming Bad Boys II, and the reaction by everybody around her. Appalling. Marilyn Monroe was like a patient zero of hypersexualization, really damaged her mental health and self-perception. What about Clara Bow and Jean Harlow and the other pre-code era sex symbols? Millie Brown. They could barely wait until she was 18 so they could openly sexualize her. I'd say most women celebrities are, especially the younger ones. Exactly. Type the name of a female celebrity on Reddit and see what comes up. Now type the name of a male celebrity and notice the difference. Chris Hemsworth. Definitely helps him. If he weren't that ripped and hot, guarantee he'd make less money per movie. The roles he takes definitely contribute. It seems like he is trying to thread the needle between being seen as a comedic himbo and taken somewhat seriously. He's not an incredible actor but he's banking on the one thing he does have, which is being extremely handsome and muscular. Interestingly, I think Henry Cavill is kind of the opposite. He's a terrific actor that people underestimate because he's extremely handsome and muscular. Ariana Grande and Miley Cyrus. I feel like they took this route to counteract the Disney wholesomeness thing. I remember someone put together a compilation of the kids show Ariana was on showing the very obvious foot fetish of someone behind the camera. It was horrifying. It was a lot of things that in a vacuum you'd see and say, that was a little weird but I guess it might make someone laugh, but when you see it all out together, it's so gross and obvious. Deleted. She seems like a very nice person but her acting is very mid. Pedro Pascal. It started out harmless but now I think it's getting out of hand. It's horrible how people think it's okay to say these things to him at press events, red carpets and the like. He always looks so very uncomfortable when people say any of the weird daddy stuff to him. Jenna Ortega. I feel it might help, but it may personally hurt her. She looks too much like a child to me. Finn Wolfhard. He's 20 now, but I've heard grown women sexualize him since he was a child. It's gross. Any adult sexualizing any child is gross. Dolly Parton was one of the best singer-songwriters in America through the 70s and 80s, and a lovely, smart, gracious person. All you ever heard about her, from late-night comedians and interviewers, was her large breasts. She handled it with grace, though, and just kept on being amazing. Check out the trio album she did with Emmylou Harris and Linda Ronstadt in 87 and 99. Glorious. Sydney Sweeney. In the long run it will hurt her career. And then consider the pool scene in White Lotus that relies on the audience implicitly recognizing Alexandra Daddario as being a whole tier of sexualization above even Sydney Sweeney. It's kind of depressing how easy it is to list people for this. Alison Brie was pretty young. We tried not to sexualize her. It's very funny to me that Alison Brie and Gillian Jacobs are the same age. Gillian is 2 months older. Pamela Anderson. It feels like everything that was ever about her was her appearance or sexuality. I imagine it's hard to go through life like that. That kid Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things. All his Instagram comments are older women being absolutely repulsive in the comments. He's 20 now, but when he was underage it was no better. Really sad. Most good-looking actresses are objectified. If they have great talent, it is often overlooked due to their beauty. For example, Natalie Portman, Florence Pugh, Margot Robbie, Angelina Jolie, Emma Watson, Anne Hathaway, Halle Berry, and so many more. This can apply to female singers as well. Danny DeVito. I think he's probably come to terms with being objectified by now. I got my Magnum condoms. I got my wad of hundreds, I'm ready to blow. Justin Bieber. Cillian Murphy. And I think he doesn't give a shite about whatever anyone thinks because your opinion doesn't matter. But I can guarantee that he would be completely mortified to learn of the DILF infatuation 15-year-old teenagers on TikTok have for him. I'm glad he's private because yikes. I don't think he's very online, which probably saves his sanity. Teen girls celebs. It hurts them a fucking lot. Our late Sinead O'Connor shaved her head for this reason. And then made a martyr for exposing the truth. Millie Bobby Brown. I'm predicting she will be the new Britney Spears, as in child star who grew up too fast and has a mental breakdown later in life. I very much hope this is not the case. I hope not. Rather see her go more down the Jodie Foster or Natalie Portman route of female child stars. Didn't see her mentioned, but definitely Lindsay Lohan. The kids on Heartstopper and Stranger Things. I feel so bad for Kid from Heartstopper. I mean, they forced him to come out of the closet when he wasn't ready. Poor lad.